Wipro. Do business better.
Hello again from the GTB Wipro TV special at this year's Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. I'm Burkitt-Gray and I'm joined for episode 7 by Jagdish Bansiya, the head of mobile development at SAP. Jagdish, let me ask you, welcome. What are the biggest challenges that you see in mobilizing the enterprise?
Thank you. When you think of the enterprise, I think there are a few important aspects you need to think about. One is enterprises have lots of different types of back-end systems. So there are multiple systems, of course SAP is there. There are other large enterprise systems in the back end. And what we need to do is we need to take information, data and processes out of those systems and mobilize them to multiple devices, right? So you have all the different OSs to which you want to build applications. And so what we have to do is we have to connect different kinds of different kinds of back-end systems to applications that run on multiple devices. And more importantly, these applications have to be configurable and customizable. And so we need to have technologies that make it possible to build these configurable, customizable applications which are compelling in user experience and yet dealing with a large amount of data, which is a typical characteristics of these applications. And then the second very important thing is the security of the data on the device, the security of the data as it's transmitted from the data centers to the mobile devices. And finally, the last very important aspect is that enterprises are used to certain level of capabilities in terms of how the data needs to be managed, right? And how you need to authenticate and authorize. And then there are supportability aspects and so on. So that's a very, I would say, in summary, the three things that are most important to enterprise is connectivity, data, right, security, and encryptions of the data on the device.
Right, we're here at Mobile World Congress where most of the people exhibiting are telecoms operators, mobile operators. So do you go through enterprises alone or carrier networks or both channels?
Yeah, so we have both channels of go-to-market that we have. We have a direct sales force that actually sells to enterprise business customers. But what SAP also has is we have a business, in what we call as the SMS interoperability business or messaging business. We connect about 950 carriers. When you need to send a message, say from one carrier to another carrier, it goes through, a lot of them go through the SAP messaging hub that we operate. We operate about 1 billion messages, SMS messages a month that go through our networks. And what is also very interesting is on top of that, we are building applications which can derive value from using the ubiquitousness of SMS. So we have applications such as direct marketing applications that we do using SMS as a channel. And so those types of applications, we definitely use the telcos as a channel to essentially get those applications out to the customers.
But telecoms operators are also your big users, I guess, are they?
Yes, several of them are basically using our technologies, right? And but one of the key things that we do for the telecom operators that we are beginning to do is we have several applications. What we call as the business applications, and these applications are, for example, asset management applications, field services applications, and traditionally we have started to use them mostly in the utilities industries, oil and gas, and now we are beginning to see the same kinds of applications which are very asset intensive management applications. We can actually have those applications be used by the telco industry to manage all of the assets that they have. So we are now beginning to look at a new industry to take many of these business applications that we have primarily from asset management, field services, and some of our service applications, and be able to have the telco operators be able to use these applications.
So let's go back to mobilizing the enterprise. Consumers have so many different mobile phones these days, so many different smartphones. There's iOS, there's Android, there's BlackBerry users, there's Windows users, and so on, and more being announced here at Barcelona.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that huge range of different operating systems? Because they all have to get into the enterprise system with security. What are the requirements that you have to think about?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest challenge that we have seen in the enterprise in the last 4 to 5 years, when the whole BYOD, bring your own device, became the norm really now, what we have had to do is, as you build, earlier when we used to build business applications, we used to build an application for a device that was mandated by the enterprise. Now you have to have that application run on all the devices, or at least a set of devices that employees bring within the enterprise. And to do that, we have adopted different technologies really, because when you think of applications, you can build applications as native applications, right? You can build applications as hybrid applications, which is essentially build an application with HTML and CSS, JavaScript, right? And be able to run it either in the browser or put a frame around it, such as wrapping it with PhoneGap and making an application out of it. So those are hybrid applications. Or you can also have SMS enabled applications. So there are different tiers with which you can build applications. So what we really do is we see that depending upon the different types of use cases that you have, you may choose one or more of these approaches to build your applications, from native applications to hybrid to mobile web to SMS. And we have taken a platform-centric approach to do this. So where we have a mobile platform, on one side this mobile platform connects to data sources, right, and helps create a normalized data representation. And then on the other side, we can have technologies or stacks and libraries that can run on these different device platforms. And that's how we essentially build applications. So what you really do in each of these cases, you think about it, you take a use case and then say, okay, what is the different ways in which this use case can be best represented? Should it be built as a native application? Because if you are really going to get the best user experience, then you want to build it as native application. But if you really say, I need to go cross-platform and be able to lower the cost of development and yet be able to get it across to all devices, then what you do is you say, okay, maybe I should build this application as an HTML5 based application. And there are few other approaches also we have. We have what we call as custom containers or players, where we have technology that runs on all the devices and we feed metadata to these applications and run those applications that way.
Jagdish, thank you very much. It sounds as though there's a wealth of opportunities there for mobilizing the enterprise, and we look forward to hearing from you more in the future. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you. This is the latest episode of the GTB Wipro Mobile World Congress TV special. We'll be back soon with more coverage. Thank you very much.
Wipro. Do business better.